Now, this character, the goddamn idiot that he is, he's got lots of problems, and he is also the architect of his own problems.
For me, it was again, of course, the script. It was the script from the get-go that I thought to myself, and I said, this is a lot. Like, it's giving me so much.
Hello everyone, welcome to PeepingMoon.com. I'm Rashita, Sahni, and today joining me for a super interesting conversation are Boman Irani and Samara Tijori for their upcoming show, Masoom. Hi you guys, how have you been? Firstly, congratulations, I watched the trailer and it looks really intriguing. And in fact, the name only Masoom, when I first heard it, it came across as something that, is very interesting. So good luck for the show and congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it, Rashita.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
And of course, Boman sir, it's your OTT debut. I think everyone was waiting for it. कि सबने debut किया, आप कब करेंगे? बहुत लोग इंतजार कर रहे थे. Finally, it's happening. तो ऐसा क्या interesting लगा या सबसे best लगा that you thought of selecting this show as the one?
रशिता, मैं कहूंगा कि मुझे कहानी अच्छी लगी, लोग अच्छे लगे, वो सब ठीक है, लेकिन उसका मतलब है जिन्होंने मुझे इसके पहले पूछा, it doesn't mean that there was something wrong with that. It's just that time did not permit. Maybe it was too cut to cut. I may have been busy with other things. We can speak in English, right?
Yeah, definitely.
All right. So, but what happened with this was it all came together at the right time. So I just was finishing a big schedule of Unchai, and then we had a longish break till we got to. So it would be the right thing to do. Also, eventually, I'm a big believer in good writing, and I read just 3 pages, and I called up Gurmeet, and I said, I seem to like this Gurmeet, baat karte, and I felt really, you get a sense of it.
Yeah.
I always say that in the first page, when you read the first page one, you get a sense of the writing, whether it's, it looks good. When writing it's scattered, it does not look professional. And you get a sense of the writing quality. And B, is it interestingly told? Kahani to achhi hoti hai, sabki kahani achhi hoti hai. It should be told interestingly. And this was told interestingly. Mere liye bahut important hai that the story, there are stories and stories and stories, but there's got to be one particular way that I'm saying it differently with a new voice, and I like the voice.
Definitely. I'm sure you found something really good in this one, and I'm looking forward to, of course, watching the show as well.
Thank you.
But Samara, how was it for you, coming on board, and what was that one thing or maybe the topmost thing that interested you the most?
For me, I didn't know anything when I gave the audition for it. I just had 2 scenes to test with. And again, like Boman sir said, the writing was so strong, and also the makers of the show. I mean, Mihir Desai, Gurmeet Singh, they're 2 people, and I've loved Mirzapur when I watched it.
Yeah.
So for me, that was a big, big plus point. Because I felt like, there are these 2 people who know exactly what they want. They know exactly what they want to do with this. And I felt comfortable enough to even, be around and say yes to something like this. And then Boman sir getting added onto it, Upasana ma'am getting added onto it, for me, all of those were plus points. I was like, okay, this is just getting better and better. It's not ending. So for me, it was again, of course, the script. It was the script from the get-go that I thought to myself, and I said, this is a lot. Like, it's giving me so much. It's giving me.
Fantastic. And talking about the roles, now I see in the trailer only I get a gist of it that every character has like a story to tell, and every character is carrying forward the storyline in his or her own way. This is the gist that I got, of course. Talking about your individual roles, I feel it's very emotionally challenging. Firstly, we are seeing a father-daughter complex relationship, and there is a lot of, truths and lies in it, which of course we'll see in the show. But did it ever take an emotional toll on you when you were playing that role?
Samara, she's asking you.
No, I'm actually asking the two of you.
No,
Samara,
I'm
you can
avoiding
go.
I'm avoiding the question here.
Samara, you can go ahead and answer it first.
It was emotionally challenging for sure,
Hmm.
because and I had to do a lot of research. I had to read a lot of things. I had to prep myself properly before I played a character like this,
Yeah.
because I mean, she has anxiety, she has depression, and it can't look wrong. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? It cannot. You cannot let that. You can't do this wrong. You can't make it look fake. And so
Hmm.
I did dig into places into my own life and into my own head and my heart to be able to play her convincingly and honestly, and to be able to make it look real.
Yeah.
So it was draining at certain times, certain scenes where I just sort of, I guess needed to step aside. I needed to take a moment for myself and come back.
Yeah.
But I coped with it very well because I had Boman sir, I had Mihir around me, and Boman sir used to just play games with me in between takes. So I think it was extremely helpful. It actually helped me as an actor, as
Yeah.
somebody, because it gives you time to clear your head. And when I
Correct.
used to be like crying or like going through something, and Mihir would just come to me and look at me like this and say, "Look at your face." And that was fun because I
Yeah.
was like, okay, like you're happy that I'm crying and you're getting it, and I'm okay with that, and that helped me detach also. But it was stressful at certain moments, yes, but it was so much fun. It was so much fun.
I'm sure it was. Baman sir, what about you? Of course, you are one of the, best actors that the industry has, and you have given us so many good roles in the Indian cinema, of course. How was it for you to play this one? I'm sure it was a different experience for you as well.
Okay, so I I did find it difficult, I have to admit. And it's a good thing. You
Hmm.
must find your work difficult. If it comes easy, there's some problem. But I'll tell you why I found it difficult. Because I, by nature, I'm a happy-go-lucky guy. I'm easygoing. I like to make the most of any situation. Um, whether I'm taking a walk, or whether I'm going to the movies. Or whether I'm doing an interview. I want to have a good time. And I'm very selfish about that. I will have a good time.
Yeah.
Now, this character, the goddamn idiot that he is, um, he's got lots of problems, and he is
Hmm.
also the architect of his own problems. And his problems include every single problem that a human being does not want to have, but he has them. From his wife, who's an invalid, she dies.
Hmm.
Um, one of my daughters is living with me, even though she's married. Make your own assumptions on that one. My son, who I have huge problems with, huger than what you've seen in the trailer. Financial problems, and this big problem that walks into my life in the name as Sana. And I've gone and decided to solve all my problems and financial problems, join politics, and then there's a whole big game that goes on over there. So he is beset with problems. When I used to come home at night and come back to my room, and I like to have company, and I was all by myself, it took me a while to feel the happy man that I like to be. And believe me, and people are beset with problems. I mean, a simple thing: a lady lying in bed who cannot lift her arm or her leg, and she just staring at this person. um, I find it's depressing, but it helps in the playing of it. If you don't feel the pressure, what you doing? Samara's character Sana actually tries to expose. Let's not give away too much of the story.
Of course.
By asking me question after question, and I don't quite have the answers. But am I innocent? Am I Masoom? Am I not? We don't know. People are taking bets on it, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, people are taking bets on it already. In the
Yeah.
PR they're saying, I think it's this. I think
Huh.
it's good. I think that's great. But that's only part of the excitement of Masoom.
Correct.
That there's a suspense drama that's unfolding. There is intrigue. But eventually, at the very heart of it, it is about, will these two, no matter
Hmm.
what, will they ever become friends again?
Correct. Um, as you mentioned, people are betting. That's exactly what was going on in my mind when I was watching the trailer. That okay, who is he? What is he doing? Is he the good guy or is he the bad guy? So that is what happens when what when a
Samara
actually
stay
I'm
expressionless when she's saying these things. Huh? Stay expressionless.
That's what happens when the trailer is well cut, actually. And that is what I feel is happening with a lot of shows these days, that the trailers are so well cut that they lead you to watch the show as soon as it releases. So, definitely that's there. But also talking about psychological thrillers in the web space, we have been seeing way too many of those. Some work, some don't. Do you feel like Masoom has that capability of keeping us at the edge of our seats throughout?
If we turn on and say that this whole thing is to keep you at the edge of their seat, it probably will. It'll succeed in doing that. But if that's the only thing that it does, then it's not working for me,
Yeah.
because that's just one of the aspects of this piece. If it keeps you at the edge of your seat, okay, we know who it is. I told you,
Hmm.
got it. Okay, good. It will. Okay, guaranteed. It will
Hmm.
keep you at the edge of your seat. But that's one of the aspects, as I said. What else should it do?
Hmm.
It should make you empathize for the characters.
Yeah.
It should make you want to feel, is that me? Is that,
Correct.
if not me, my uncle, my cousin, my sister, my mother-in-law,
Hmm.
my daughter, who is this? So that's important. So getting people to be withholding information is actually very difficult
Hmm.
and easy also. It is this relationship between characters that is the heart and soul of the film. That should succeed. And I think it succeeded. But it only succeeds when an audience sees it.
Yeah.
For us, it has succeeded, and we do have a soft corner for this piece in particular. Um, our heart and soul is in it. But I do believe, because there's a certain amount of trueness and
Hmm.
honesty, people pick it up. People aren't acting, because if you see the acting, then you're watching an artist act.
Yeah.
But if you see those characters going through pain, intrigue, being 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 whoever they are, with a certain amount of truth, I'm
Yeah.
interested in watching these people. That's the success that I'm looking for.
I'm sure. Samara, would you like to add on to that?
I agree with him completely, actually, because honestly, for me, on paper, it did that. I was
Yeah.
interested, I was intrigued. I wanted to know where each character is going, where their storyline is taking them. I wanted to
Hmm.
know, and I mentioned, earlier, I read that script like in one go. I didn't stop. I just kept reading.
Hmm.
For me, on paper, yes, it did that, and I'm hoping. I mean, I haven't seen it, but I'm hoping it does that for the audience visually also, because for
I
us,
saw it, Samara. I saw it.
you.
They didn't show you, huh? They don't trust you. See?
Okay, nice. And talking about this debate that has been going on for around 2 years of OTT versus cinema, and they said that when the theaters are back, cinema OTT is going to shut and all of that. Nothing of that sort happened. They are coexisting pretty well. But one example, like Baman sir, Jayesh Bhai, it released last week on Netflix, and I counted 7 people on my Instagram story put up a photo and they were watching it at their homes. So I just thought that, wow, it released in cinemas, people went and enjoyed it there. Now it released on the web space and people are loving it there as well. So how do you feel about this coexistence?
Look, let's look at it this way.
Hmm.
I'm going to start you a story that happened some 1,000 years ago. Okay? Are you
Okay.
prepared to hear me? Prepared to hear
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
story? Okay.
Definitely.
Rashita. Um, People used to come with a cloth into the village, hang up a cloth, and it'd be painted with images, and some guy would read out and sing out a story of that cloth, right? He was a storyteller. Then they started getting actors in. And we had plays and theater, and then theater took for many years, and theater and Greek theater and Indian theater, and then Parsi theater, and then of course Shakespearean theater. And then suddenly one fine day, the moving picture came along, and one train came into our lives, and then we started saying, okay, why are we just showing images of trains coming into people? Why can't we tell little stories for 10 minutes, 20 minutes, half an hour, 1 hour, and then we have the motion picture. And the motion picture came along. The big screen, the screens got bigger, CinemaScope, 70 mm. What am I saying? Everything changes, and eventually the idea is somehow or the other, entertain people.
Yeah.
Entertain people in some form or the other, whether it's meaningful entertainment or just fun entertainment. I love both. All right. My point here is, straight up, things in the next 3 months can change. Something can change drastically in the coming week. We don't know.
Yeah.
People will start flocking in the theaters again and want to see. It's just what will appeal to someone at that point of time of technology.
Yeah.
Because everything is technology now. Now, coexist is a nice word you used. I believe, my personal idea is, it will coexist, because what it does is, if there is an intimate piece of work over 6 episodes, it cannot go to the theater.
Yeah.
It should not go to the theater. But if there is a piece of work which is nice and tight, it can be intimate. We know exactly that this is meant for a theatrical release. And it should be like that.
Yeah.
And this piece should be made into a play. Jaake drama hall mein dekh ke aap. This is meant to be a soap. Put it on television.
Correct.
Everything is lazim. I feel soaps should be made, sitcoms should be made, web series should be made. You know what? Movies should be made. You know what the best part about it is? Everybody is working, finding a livelihood. For me and this beautiful industry that's given me everything, it is the greatest joy of all. It is the greatest joy. Everybody's working, from dressmen to spot boys to lightmen to cameramen to directors who had kind of semi-retired, to actors who had semi-retired, actors who are coming from the cinema into this zone, and from the, my God.
Yeah.
Let's keep the work going. And it's not just about your livelihood. Entertain people.
Correct.
My only red flag in all of this is, there is, touch wood, lots of work. Make sure that you respect the one man who can make all this happen. And who's that one man? Let me ask you a question. Who do you think that one man is? The writer.
The
Because if
writer.
the writer fails, all of you will fail, and then we might have to go and do street plays again.
I know. Agreed. What a nice
थोड़ा भाषण दे
analogy.
दिया मैंने, लेकिन
नहीं, but I
गलत भाषण
enjoyed
दिया।
your I enjoyed your perspective on it. And I personally cannot wait to watch Masoom, and definitely it all just coexists. So can't wait to get to it and review it. Thank you so much for this beautiful conversation, Boman sir and Samara. All the very best.
Thank you, dear. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
God bless
Thank
you.